or when it hits, whichever you know. I think this is a really important thing, like for any Terrans who are watching this stream and wanting to learn.
We don't have enough minerals. Need more minerals for that. That'll cost more minerals than we have.
It's been a while. Okay. No worries, dude. The little noises it makes when you click like a rally point are really satisfying.
We don't have enough minerals.
Oops.
Need more minerals for that.
Okay, so this is 3 racks, like right now 3 racks. And that is not what happened before.
This is... Oh, there's no command center.
Yeah.
I think he is now realizing that he forgot his command center.
It's totally fine if he wants to regain. I was very freaked out. So is this just not a thing anybody will ever do?
I mean, it's a one base all-in.
Okay. So it could have conceivably been a thing.
If the Terran has the number of bases plus 2 barracks, they're all in you.
Number of bases plus 2.
Oh no,
okay,
wait, that
okay.
algorithm doesn't work. I need to wait. The nth odd number of barracks, where n is their number of bases.
Too complicated. I'm too sick. That's really funny.
They have 2 times their number of bases plus 1 in barracks. They're all winning you.
Half your age minus 7. Got it.
Half your age minus 7.
Yeah, that. Do you not know that one?
It's plus 7.
Wait, is
The,
it plus?
the algorithm for the youngest person you can date without being a creep.
It's half your age
Half
plus
your age
7?
plus 7. Yeah, so I'm 22.
Oh, right. Not
half
minus
my
7.
age is 11. Minus 7 is 4.
like a child. Yeah. Okay. Half your age plus 7. That's. Yeah. That's awkward.
That'll cost more minerals than
Half my age plus 7 is 18. Oh,
Which
look,
is.
it works.
Yeah.
Need more minerals for that.
It was my good luck timing for a hit that threw him off in that last game.
That'll cost more
I
minerals.
GL'd him late,
We don't have enough
and that was
minerals.
probably right when he needed to make his CC. Screwed him up.
Telling you, MS-DOS games, man. GLHFing late. Everything's late.
Yep, that's bad. That's a problem. I have this irrational fear that he's gonna gas steal me. It hasn't happened in any of these games, but like, just, I don't know, feels like it's coming.
That'll cost more minerals than we have.
You know who always gas steals me and I hate him for it? Nathanius.
Need more minerals for that.
Nathanius is absurdly annoying to play against. He does every annoying thing he can think.
That's funny.
That'll cost more minerals than we have.
Hjax is definitely a thing against Toss right now, plays for it. In fact, a lot of the Terrans I talk to say it's their favorite build against Toss right now.
Oh god, I gotta
Need
make
more
this thing.
minerals for that. Not enough death speed.
You're not even light.
We don't
Hooray!
have enough minerals. That'll cost
I saw your
more
gas
minerals
drop to
than we
like
have.
5 when you started
Glory
it.
to the Daylong.
Start Stalker.
Give us your command.
We don't have enough minerals.
Yeah, it's a little
It's
different.
like, yeah! Yeah, we did it.
We serve with pride.
I forgot to send the probe, which is not ideal, but it's what happened.
We need
No,
We
also,
have gas. I don't know why we don't have gas.
That's gonna require more
because I made a stalker. I forgot to make blink before making that second stalker,
Yes,
which
execute.
I think I
I-
start my second Stalker before Blink. Pretty sure.
weird.
Where shall we march?
I shouldn't have done that shade. Actually, no, I'm on
It's
cooldown.
totally okay.
The enemy
sure?
is gunning for our probes.
Najakar
Wait,
Mina.
I'm here in the shadows.
We don't see anything there.
Combat awaits.
Gateways.
Let our enemy know our
It's annoying.
Not enough energy.
Oh, I should be chronoing that, not
You're
those.
gonna need a pile
Research
on.
complete. I think we need more pylons. Construct additional
Well,
pylons.
this is going a little rough. Rough as a Terran player.
I'm glad I infected you with that.
Yeah, I'm pretty infected with it.
It's like so not funny that it's funny.
Yeah,
Yes, Executor.
I'm just gonna put her like in the middle of the map, I guess. She can see things happen, maybe.
Okay, we need to warp in. Stalkers, move out on the map with them. You can take your third.
I'm here in the shadows. We are one with the shadows.
These maps, I
Then-
swear.
Gas, Robo.
We got the Robo already, which I guess is a crime.
No, we do have a Robo. Well, might as well make an obs.
Yep.
Our base is under
Oh.
attack.
That's annoying.
I think we need more pylons.
Free Marines, everyone's favorite. The best type of Marine. Saturate your gas.
With the shadows.
There are units shooting your stalkers. Run, blink away!
I'm gonna make it.
We're gonna need to warp in a lot of stuff at home. Blink, blink!
Move unseen. You require my skills.
But he already stemmed after you, which is pretty good for you.
Thy bidding.
Dating stems is good. He stems, you run away.
One of our pylons is under enemy fire.
Yikes.
skins, you don't fight him with a stick. Wait for his skin to wear off. You can poke him, but you don't fight him.
State thy bidding. For the reckoning.
Now his stuff is super bruised, so you can kill it all.
Okay.
With the shadows.
Make sure you retake your third.
I am the
I guess
voice.
I wasn't chasing. I thought I was. That sucks.
Make sure you're chronoing your upgrades. You need pylons too.
Seems more pylons are required.
Oh, you're starting to at your third. That works. And now you're going to start adding your gates.
Need more minerals. One of our pylons is
His
under
execution
enemy
of
fire.
his build was way better this game.
State thy bidding. I am here in the shadows.
Oh no. Oh, good job.
Thanks. Okay, opponent is on 0-1. We're gonna look at the buildings. We're gonna make
We
things.
don't have enough minerals.
What's he got?
Two medevacs moving out. A third CC done. 3 racks. 4 racks? 4 racks. Maybe 5. But it's not super all in. What was that scan? Was it? Okay, that scan was on
We've
this.
completely mined out a mineral
I don't
field.
think that can get me, but there is a move out coming. So I want to get these ready.
That'll cost more minerals than we have.
Put this on that kind of a mode.
2-2.
watching.
Make sure you're immortals with your army. He's kind of chilling in your net right now. Remember, you don't want to fight soon. You want to fight like, oh, medevacs in your main. Warp in there. Warp in your main.
Energy's too low.
See
I have no.
how easy that was to defend?
Yeah,
Big
jeez.
warp in and we're good. Take a fourth.
Okay.
Keep chronoing your upgrades. Keep warping in waves of zealots. You can go a little heavier with the stalkers.
Need more minerals for. Hold position.
Yeah, mechanics you sounded so sad. Yeah, I did feel sad because I tried to recall because I thought I needed to recall, and I didn't have energy. And also, what we notice a lot with this style is that I don't I don't have a good sense of like what's good for me and what's not yet.
Operation commencing. We've completely
I heard my
mined out a
troops
mineral.
there. Keep just spamming gateway units and chronoing upgrades. That's the entire job of this build.
Yep. Actually, I kind of want one of these now.
Yeah, warp prism's good. Also important to the build. I don't know an exact timing for it. When you feel like you're gonna want to move out soon, build a prism.
That'll cost more minerals than we have.
We move
No probes back to mine.
Can't warp that in. Can't warp that in.
shadows. I am here in the shadows.
So, weapons move at the speed of light. Armies don't.
Okay.
So it's much better to warp in where his medevac's going than it is to try to get your army there.
Yeah, makes sense. I don't know where my army should be right now.
Somewhere outside of the third is fine. We're gonna push now, right?
Yeah.
Straight 3-3.
In the shadows.
Usually you want to push it, like, hit it 2-2 timing with this build. That's the goal. And if it doesn't
Nothing
work,
left in
then you
that
hit it
mineral.
3-3 time.
Right.
I am here in the shadows.
Make sure you fight together. Open more.
Need more minerals for that. Mineral fields.
Okay, we need to go home.
Okay.
Pick up the immortal and run. Pick up anything you can and run.
Okay.
Keep warping in at home. So.
That'll cost more minerals than we have.
Transfer to your 4th. Oh, there's a ton of stalkers in your 4th. And a ton of stalkers in your main.
You require
Well, that explains a lot.
Remember, you want to delay fighting.
Okay.
We don't have enough minerals.
There's many ways to warp. He's going to your 4th. You can save that if you can.
Wants me to run into Widow memes. We're not gonna do it.
We stand as one. Ula
They
Sadar.
leave? Did we kill them all?
They left.
I am here in the shadows.
Alright, our 3-3 is going to be done soon. So,
Push again.
you definitely want a bit more stuff before you push, but
Okay.
mostly don't.
That's 1, 2, 2.
Upgrade is ready for use.
We're going to
We
have
don't have
3-3.
enough minerals.
You can start shields if you want.
I think
Push,
we need
push,
more pylons.
push. Fight.
One's pushing us.
Start a Dark Shrine in your main.
Our base is under attack.
You can recall to your 3rd if you want. Warp in there too.
Seems
Oh,
more
where's the
pylons.
blood
Our
lock?
probes
Where's
are
the
under
blood lock?
attack.
More pylons.
Embrace the glory of battle.
Yikes, that went really bad.
Justice be done. Embrace the glory of battle.
Nothing left in that mineral cluster.
You need to be, or, well, you're dead now. But
Okay.
we can talk about base races.
Yeah, let's do that.
So in base races, you have a couple goals. One, to make your opponent's army be the last army they can ever get.
Mm.
2, to find a way to kill that army. And 3, to make sure your army is not the last army you ever get.
Mm-hmm.
So preemptively building pylons as soon as you suspect a base race is good.
Mm-hmm.
Something like a Dark Shrine is really good in base races because you know you're going to be killing his orbitals.
Yeah.
Those kind of things are the things you need to be thinking about in a base race.
Yeah. Did you say Dark Shrine just because it was a good thing to have, or you said Dark Shrine because we were going to a base race?
I really like Dark Shrines in base races, personally.
Well, yeah, I know that, but I also know that you just like them late game, so what I'm asking is, were you just telling me to do it because of the normal course of what you would want in a PvT, or because you saw we were going to a base race scenario?
Because I saw you were going to a base race scenario.
Okay.
Because
makes
his
sense.
army was at your 4th and your army was at his 3rd, which is just very base race looking.
Yeah. All right. So I don't like base races, and I find them difficult. Do I have
And you need to always know where his army is.
Okay. Because I would rather, like, I don't know, I like boring, right? I like boring and predictable. I want to just beat their army, and then they can't stop me from killing their bases, or they just GG. Like, that's my dream.
So, I don't know if I've talked about this, but did you hear my Tasia rant yet?
You talked when the announcement of him coming back.
I have a new Tasia rant from
Okay.
Home Story Cup. Did
Oh, I
you
haven't
see
heard
his
this.
series against Cyril?
No.
Right.
didn't.
So Tasia played against Cyril.
Mm-hmm.
Tasia lost 3-2
Hmm.
against Cyril.
Jeez.
Tasia's been retired for 2 years.
Yeah.
Tasia won 2 games against the best player in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Tasia won those 2 games in the manner that everyone's been saying all year is the worst position to try to fight Cyril in. Toe-to-toe, straight-up macro game with lots of trades back and forth.
Huh. Okay.
Because Tasia has always been the kind of player that will gamble on sort of a truth that I've found in StarCraft, which is the more 2 players interact with each other, the more likely the better player will win. The more mini games you play with your opponent, the more likely you'll win because you'll be winning more of those games on average if you're better.
This is why like macro is the thing that people say. This is why control players in Magic play control, right? They make a longer game and force more decision points because the value that you get out of making any given decision correct is small, but if you make it cumulative over many of those decisions, then you eventually garner a larger advantage.
Assuming you play better than your opponent.
Right, exactly.
So, everyone has been saying all year that the only way to beat Cyril is to cheese him out.
Mm-hmm.
Because he is so good that if you play toe-to-toe with him, he is going to destroy you.
Mm-hmm.
Asia is too stubborn to care and too good for it to matter, and actually outplayed Cyril in a macro game, which I thought was like amazing. I was so hyped.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Anyway, I think base races can be sort of that kind of situation where you get to create a lot of opportunities to interact with your opponent. So there's a lot of room to outplay, which is something that you're not comfortable with, right? You don't want to outplay your opponent. You want to just walk down the straight, simple path to victory and have your opponent have no say on it.
Right, yeah.
But it is worth being aware that there is this sort of phenomenon where when 2 players interact more, the more skilled player wins more often.
So maybe it's worth me thinking about this. So, like, I'm looking at the game state right now, right? And, like, I have 3-3. Opponent has 2-2. Opponent doesn't even have 3-3 on the way. And we are at basically identical supply with a composition that pretty heavily favors me, I would say, right? Like, this bio... And I guess the mines kind of make it fuzzy, but, like, this bio doesn't really want to fight my all-charge lot army. And...
So there is an issue for your composition that in base races.
Okay.
Your army is not a make 1 army and fight with it. It's make 6 armies and fight with them at the same time because you're constantly warping in during the fight. When you fight with your 100 supply army, you're not fighting with a 100 supply army because you're fighting with a 100 supply army and 220 supply warp-ins that happen afterwards. So your army depends a lot on having an income stream to muscle through your opponent. So base races are actually really bad for this style.
Okay.
In that if you try to keep playing the charge lot style, you're going to die.
Okay.
So you need to, like, base races favor whoever can trade most efficiently. So you want some Psystorm or cloaked units or Colossus disruptors. Things that are going to be able to kill a lot for a little, which Zealots don't do. Zealots win because you have more of them.
Yeah. It's a very linear thing, right? A Zealot kind of does what it does. There's no... Yeah. And meanwhile, like, these medevacs, for example, as simple as it sounds, right, are banking energy over the course of the game. They're dumping that into marine health, which is essentially minerals.
Yep. So bio can trade really well if it doesn't have to fight all at once. The longer the fight goes, the better it is for bio. And usually you offset that by warping in tons of stuff and just overwhelming his efficiency with more stuff than he can make.
Mhm.
But if you have no economy, or in this case, if you're pylon blocked, that doesn't happen and you just get rolled.
Yeah, so I saw as the fight was starting that we were not blocked, but approaching a block, right? We ended up blocked because we lost this. Sorry, I was gesturing at the fourth, but I realized you can't see that. I wanted to tap back to my base to make pylons, but that was right when you said make a dark shrine. And then my brain was like, whoa, okay, I wasn't prepared for that. Now I gotta like make the gestures that do that. And then I saw this bio moving out and I was like, oh crap, opponent's moving to my fourth. And then I didn't know what to do, and then I didn't make the pylons.
Yeah, you needed to do all the things.
Yeah.
Also, I want you to watch the fight by his third because it went really, really bad for you at like 11 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, this I could hear the disappointment in your voice, but the sad emotions didn't convey to me what I was supposed to be doing.
I think all I said was that you needed to fight together. Your army,
Yeah.
you do like a big pre-split thing, which
Mhm.
causes the units you split up to go fight the command center.
Yeah, I consistently have this problem of units fighting structures in fights that are near structures, and I'm really trying to get better at it.
Because you lose like 20 army supply before the fight starts.
Hmm.
You also had a surprising amount of bio, I think, so that didn't help.
So we're up still. We're up upgrades and we're up supply.
Yeah, but watch all these zealots that die before
Yeah.
anything really happens.
Right, so we need a grinder to get good. Yeah, so I mean, what I was trying to do was not like just have Widowmine shots hit my whole army, like what happened in that other game. And so that was why I changed my behavior, but it didn't work out. So now I just feel confused and sad. Cursor is an interesting point. The buildings like kind of aggroing your stuff is a part of Defender's advantage. I'd never considered that. And that feels like maybe it's true at lower levels, but not.
Yeah,
like,
I don't have any issues with buildings aggroing my
that's
stuff.
kind of what I was gonna say. So like where his army is feels like it should be bad for him because it's all in this crappy choke, but I guess it all can shoot me anyway.
That's amazing when you're fighting against zealots. Chokes are only bad when your opponent has AoE. Chokes are good when your opponent doesn't have AoE.
Okay, yeah.
So
Maybe that's why.
Is some nuance for your decision making.
Uh-huh.
If you have AoE, fighting into chokes is good. If you don't have AoE, fighting into chokes is bad. So with this playstyle, fighting into chokes is bad.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Like, now that we're talking about it, it makes perfect sense. And I guess I kind of know now also why, like, I do just have lots of positive emotions about seeing my opponent's army in a choke. Because, like, I've been playing Storm compositions in Colossus for so long that I see this, I'm like, oh, this is good. But there's no, like, reasoning behind it anymore. I've just seen this be a winning position for me so many times that I was like, choke, great.
I feel like you didn't have enough vision of his army before the fight to adequately decide if you could win the fight as well. So in this case, if you had moved your obs forward a bit and seen that he had a big kind of scary chunk of bio there, go around, kills fourth. It's kind of undefended.
We didn't even know there was a fourth, which is kind of a bigger crime.
It's safe to assume he has a fourth.
Okay.
It's 11 minutes, so probably has a fourth.
Okay. Or even like, so it's like before this fight happens. Well, I guess his army is right here. I don't know. To me, I would look at this and be like, maybe it is bigger than mine, huh? I guess
his army is bigger. He's stronger than yours because you have like 6 stalkers in your fourth and like 4 in your main and a sentry. So there's like 20 supply of stuff that isn't in your army.
Yeah. Right now. Okay. And this was because there was like that messy fighting for a while where I was chasing that drop.
Yeah, and reminder that your style depends on you having more. Even fights are bad. You want to run him over with like huge numbers advantage.
Okay.
If you don't have that, you need to wait till you can warp in more. I think you killed quite a few probes, which was kind of unfortunate for you.
Yep. 16. It was while I was chasing that army from base to base to base to base to base. Okay. So, all right, what I'm liking about this style is that I don't die to the 2 base pushes with it. What I'm not liking is it does feel harder to win later. I don't know. I guess maybe I just have more experience with the other style.
You can transition eventually, but it's hard because you're cutting into your zealot production if you start transitioning. In fact, Zest never ever transitions out of the style ever. He'll just go up to like 6 bases and still be making zealots.
Yeah, I feel like I should just keep trying with it and not just be like, oh, I lost one game and it felt bad. Let's do something different.
It's definitely way less finessey than the other styles you were playing.